Ahoy. Ahoy there. You guys ready for the DGR? Danganronpa. Ba 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 ba. I have this song on repeat because this song's lit. I had a story I was going to tell, but I forgot what it was. I'll just script it later. How goes it? How goes it? Dude, Poggers rolled Nobara for me. But I'm not too mad. Because I pulled Hachama. So it was worth it. It was worth it at the end of the day. Bro was so happy. I don't know what it was, bro. I don't know why my dumbass was two-handing my keyboard. But I'm over it. Who two-hands their keyboards while they're rolling? Top 10 smartest moments I've ever had. Now you're gonna cap. Think he's gonna get Marion from me? Flo. Get Bochi from him for me. I'm willing to do business. Business. Get Bochi from him, Flo. Get Suisse. Trade him for Bochi. And I'll give you whoever the hell you want. However many you want. Just say it. Just saying. I will. It's worth it. It's worth it. Go on, Bochi. Pogger's an op. Rose an op too, but I think Rose likes being called an op, so GG's, I guess. I don't know what to do there. All right, sorry, might have been loud. My bad, my bad. Bam, bam, bam. God, why is he obsessed with Bochi, bro? Oh, God, frick fuckers here, bro. Get the hell out of here, Poggers. Nobody wants you here. Get the hell out of here, bro. Damn, Flo, you freaking ratting on me, bro? Oh my god. You guys in the same call? You're ratting on my ass. Wow. I just got snitched on, bro. Freaking imagine. Imagine. Hogger's better chill the frick out with Mude recently, bro. Because I saw you guys in Discord earlier. Hogger, stop being an op. Don't let me have to take you to the freaking firing range, bro. On camera. Stop with the op behavior. You the biggest op? Cap. That is so cap. That is so cap. As Donald Trump would say, that is so cap, joke. That is so cap. You know that is op behavior. You freaking know it. so dark. Okay. Stop. Op behavior. I literally can't have this any darker. Ugh, but a light in my face sucks. I don't think I've had this much color in my face for a long time. Hold on. Is that bright enough? Yeah, that's bright enough. That's bright enough. I don't care. That's good enough for me. My face is bright enough. This kind of sounds like JoJo's music a little bit. I'll check the body more thoroughly. Maybe I'll find out for sure if it's Kiyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they'd get in the way of normal activity. Is that a wolf? What is that? There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is that a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like it's a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Dog or wolf. She's missing her fake nails on her middle and right pinky. Flo told me I need to be paying attention, but I don't know what the frick I'm supposed to be paying attention to specifically. Ever have her body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burned up. There's only one little piece left. This? The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? It wouldn't have, like, splashed on it? There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. Monokuma said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks really familiar. Wait, is this? That's it. It's the knife that person was holding. How did he not make the connection that this is the same person earlier? But that person's fingernails weren't long. This is getting really weird. Just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And the same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then I... What's up, Annie? And if this really is Kiyoko, it would mean Kiyoko was the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No. No, it can't be. There's no way. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, but I can't really be sure. But I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? Okay, he's gonna tell me, thank God. I'll have to double check that later. Why don't you just tell me? I don't remember. Listen, Makoto. Do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was in the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So the person dragged the body over there? Wouldn't there be a trail? They wheel the body over, put the body in a sack? So thank you too. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. I count 4 chickens. Huh? 4?
Yo.
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course! There were precisely 5. Yeah, right? Huh? What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But
I was down here just before nighttime last night. And there were definitely 5 chickens then.
what?
What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? So who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. What's that fragment? Where's that fragment on the ground from? This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Oh, so I guess that's how they dragged the body over. Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. You never know. Crazy Diamond. Crazy. Crazy. Alright. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside, it's totally complete It's totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. But not wet from blood? Question mark? Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words,
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
in other words,
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone, so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. What? Why is Hiro in the garden? Didn't Hiro hate the garden? And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words,
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kiyoko.
that's right.
And if the victim really is Kiyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So, where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So what? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Also, Bebo. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and?
For serious.
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Motokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual. I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then. Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just about before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right. It had to have been around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ha! Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. What's up, Trav? Best case, deadass? Monokuma flower, huh? This is the panel that controlled the sprinklers. You're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning. And Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. So... was the body hiding already in the garden, covered in the tarp? No. They dragged him. Frick, I don't know. The sprinklers are clearly why the tarp is freaking wet and dirty. Clearly. But to be dirty, it had to be in the freaking dirt. Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet. Which would mean the murder must have taken place before 7:30. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area. But I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically, that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out about Kiyoko. Is that corpse really Kiyoko? If that's true. Was that also Kiyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kiyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room.
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options?
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. I don't have a choice. I have to see if you'll let me borrow her room key. Hey, Byakuya? If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then, will you go with me? Sorry. I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later on and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you. Or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay. Then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Which is... No idea what that is. What is that? I guess I go to the gym. All right, going to the gym. Where we go. I mean, I guess it's a Monokuma body part. I guess. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Oh, a bomb inside Monokuma? I just found something. What was it? It's...
Huh?
It's what? Bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot. I'm sure.
What? What?
A bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden? Okay. I checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Huh. You can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Ikuzo. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole. And then... and it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. The obvious ones first. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. It doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to. The dojo. Here's her bed. Oh yeah, gamers. Severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go. Very pog champion.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for?
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take the time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, we're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kiyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. Very epic, very epic. Like I have it set up to where I get a call. Hello.
This is an emergency message from Warren Central, Texas.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your area by the National Weather Service. Stay tuned to your local weather station for more information. Press 1 to confirm.
Very pog. Very cool. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kiyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets?
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Don't ask stupid questions, Makoto! Awesome. You get a lot of thunderstorms and scary storms up in Canada? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled piece of paper. Class number 78, student registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. Not in my area. On the east and west coast they do. You just get like snow. That's like it. That's probably the other thing Kiyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room with the key. God, you're so annoying! This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kiyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. We get some bad snowstorms, but again, they get worse further north and further west. Really? You guys don't like... You guys don't get like tornadoes up there, right? I'm pretty sure. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament, and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over the Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up. No information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, and that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. The Ultimate Soldier. A mercenary group? I hear no. They do in the West? The West gets some pretty bad ones apparently. Huh. No tornadoes, no hurricanes. Snowstorms are common. That makes sense. It's like one's nonfiction and the other's sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things, just as an ordinary person. But then,
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Huh? You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Group. The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Wow! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit... player. And a bit player is becoming our hero! Ah, it's you!
What?
Huh? What have you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh! You found her profile! So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me!
Come on now.
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kiyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why, as the school headmaster, I have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, now can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there are. Did I? I was thinking, I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway. Back then, there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you. Misunderstanding? Are you saying...
in other words...
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Wait, but wouldn't that 16th student have to participate in the class trial? Class trials? Am I bugging here?
The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
Is that cap? Am I misunderstanding something? Give me a sec. I'm gonna grab some water. they had to turn the water off in my house for a little bit earlier today. And so I forgot that whenever the water turns off and turns back on, the sinks in that bathroom freaking explode. So I just took a gigantic L. Ah! It's so cold. I just had all the water just blast at me. Fun. Very fun. Had a great and poggers time in that bathroom. And it was crazy is I was thinking about it too. Like I knew earlier in the day. I was like, I'm going to get roasted if I turn that freaking faucet on. But I did it anyway because I forgot. Every time. One time I pranked my sister and I got her to turn the faucet on. Fun times. Oh, it's so cold. Whatever. Do I just leave my lights on? Okay. Actually, no, I'm leaving them off. I have to record something after this, and I don't know how much battery they're gonna.
The one they call the ultimate despair.
But Mukuro Ikusaba's the ultimate soldier, isn't it?
Watch out for her.
Isn't they? Aren't they? She's part of this school life. It's the one making all the regulations. Is
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Cold is a strong word. What do you mean? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because... like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone is on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Makes sense?
Well, now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? What's up, Killick? What's up, Killick? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now, that's all you get. Wait, didn't the body have a tattoo? Wait, the body had a tattoo on the hand, not scars, right? Kiyoko wears those gloves to cover a bunch of scars. Right? Am I correct? Wait, it's on the back of her hand. The tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kiyoko wears those gloves to hide the scars. Which means those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kiyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kiyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school's killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kiyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
Based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible. But if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if the key and the dojo really are connected.
let's go.
Well, are you coming? Tattoo of a dog. But there's no scars. Doo-doo. There are wooden lockers here. They use the woodblock keys, just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock. And click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Titanium arrows. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a bloodstain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could it possibly be involved? Nar idea. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya? Forget it. Come on. We need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. What? Okay, that means Kiyoko must have put that shit inside the locker before she gave her key. Sorry, Kiyoko must have put that shit in her room before she gave the key to Byakuya, right? And before that, that's when she gave Makoto the envelope, I think? We need to do more research on Fenrir. a second. Let me turn my fan on because it's hot as balls in here. There's a big old thunder outside. Unlucky for your boy. No cap. But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? You talking about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Kiyoko seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Gosh, I haven't seen Thunder and Lightning in like 2 years. Huh? Deadass? Oh, you live like freaking Ice City. Here we go. He quickly returned with the file in hand.
I'll read it, bitch.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded. Buko Ikusaba freaking yoinked them all? Shit. I took French for most of school and don't know French? Damn.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality. The only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. And that's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They get a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Ding dong, bing bong. Pay attention.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial.
Oh, that was fast. The chapters get shorter, or like?
So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
Damn, so Kiyoko freaking shanked the shit out of Mukuro Ikusaba? Absolute Chad moment. Maybe? Does that mean Kyoko's gonna die? All we can do now is uncover the class trial. It would seem that way. Let's go. In defense of Makoto, Mukuro Ikusaba was trying to kill Makoto when he had a fever. And then Kyoko got in there. I don't know how she opened the door, though. What the fuck does a chicken have to do with it? One of the last victims has been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Has been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Body was covered with other wounds, but these are at least several days old. Struck with an object. Did we find an object? The upper half of the body began organization, the upper half of the body remained on fire, had to be extinguished. Because the upper half of the body is soaking, bottom half remained dry. Okay. Body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking, while the bottom half remained dry.
Okay.
Fake nails. Body tattoo of a dog. There are bits of charred debris on the body. It should be noted that the bomb, which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym, had disappeared. It's hard to imagine these two are unrelated. Every morning at 7:30, and this time is impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gone away. Koto meets others in the gym, and the headmaster's gym. Toko is told to find the pickaxe and discover the body. So basically, 7:30, tarp. There's just too many thoughts I can't formulate into words. The knife found near the body was the same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. Same knife Toko had given Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife the master assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. Tarp was hidden among the other times. She was shed. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other was completely clean and dry. Number of chicken coop had decreased. Ezra claims that there were without a doubt. Oh shit! There were 5 chickens before nighttime last night, and yet Kiyoko said there's no cooks in the garden just after nighttime last night, so it can be assumed that the murder must have taken place sometime after that. Kiyoko also said that he, Suhiro, Toko, and Aoi were in the gym the entire night, so none of them were alone at any point. Corpse had a mask covering its head, and a white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust through the abdomen, and there were blood stains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground around the body. Wouldn't there have been blood on the tarp? Ikusaba, female, known as the Ultimate Soldier, she became obsessed. The Ultimate Despair? Why is she called the Ultimate Soldier here? Became obsessed with the military from the young age. Disappeared while on vacation in Europe and appeared in Japan after. Okay. Wait. I mean, I was gonna say, if Mukuro Ikusaba was controlling Monokuma and Monokuma was there in the room during the class trial, would that count as them being there? You know what I mean? But I guess that's not it. The husband she didn't want anyone to see. $10 in total. Assume this is related to case, but nobody can imagine how. Okay. Forgot how freaking high my sensitivity is. Well, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where'd that give YouTube in? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together. Just the two of you.
Huh?
What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. You'll be here any second. So, is participating in the class trials optional? Because if it's required and Kyoko's not going to show up, that means it's optional, right? Or she's somewhere else in the freaking room. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something to happen. Then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why isn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again. What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... or what?
What?
Jesus! Can I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why'd you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here. Now can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now. So it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard the voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey.
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kiyoko! Kiyoko? You're still alive? No! That's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty, officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. Shing. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, just hustle your butts into the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kiyoko. Kiyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps. But that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right! No! We're back. I think. Oops. Hey, when my router poops? I think it was due to the storm. That is my suspicion. It's the weather. It's the weather. Severe thunderstorm right now. Severe thunderstorm outside. It's kind of scary outside. Not even a cap. We're back. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kiyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long?
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. I think that two of them snuck off and killed Mukuro Ikusaba when they went to the bathroom. Couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kiyoko before the trial started. Kyoko-sama. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? Use that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms... then... that's what the key you found goes to? Sorry, I'm just getting text.
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current
It
situation.
would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment for me so far. For her. That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would you say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kiyoko made her way into the elevator. I'm just overthinking what you said, right? Alright, here's what I think happened. I think Kiyoko stabbed the dude. Stabbed Mukuro Ikusaba, right? Or whoever that is. And then Mukuro Ikusaba fell backwards and hit their head on something. And then what hit their head on something is what killed them. So technically, at some point. Maybe? So technically, Kiyoko didn't kill Mukuro Ikusaba, but she still moved the body and stuff like that. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. Is that bogus? And the door slid shut. And then maybe they used the duct tape as a bandage? No, because the duct tape was in the locker prior. It was in the room after she gave the thing away.
I don't know.
I don't know what the freaking duct tape's for. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. And that dusty darkness, nobody said a word. Like, pretty sure Monokuma can go back and over the video if he wanted. He can't. He knows who did it, or if somebody did it at all. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this! It feels like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show! And so, the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Increase the time limit for each phase. Technical class round costs 3 SP. Ah, probably fine, right? Maybe. I'm pretty sure we already went through all of this, right? Ultimate question mark question mark? Ultimate clairvoyant? Bro's been useless the entire time. Unless he's secretly a freaking menace.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kiyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kiyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
What happened? I heard my name. If I called your name, I don't remember it.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
I hope it was Hero, just to get him off the screen.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kiyoko, right? Then let's compare Kiyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Which the body doesn't belong to her.
I got it!
The gloves, I guess.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably
I'm being
just got burnt
gaslit.
up in the
I'm not saying
explosion.
you're wrong. I'm saying I might have said your name, but I don't remember it.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse is Kiyoko. If I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and that case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to make your argument.
That Kiyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves, because that corpse is absolutely Kiyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kiyoko there is just a...
Impossible.
Okay, then prove
The
it.
dead body wasn't.
They got burnt up and...
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah, because that corpse is...
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kiyoko there is
Impossible.
okay. Then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They
Frick.
got burnt up in the explosion.
What's the button? What's the button? Is it right click? Or left click? Oh, it's left mouse button. Omega lol.
She was wearing.
Well, yeah, because that corpse is. This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kiyoko.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well,
Yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Shoot!
What? But she wasn't wearing.
that Kiyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove
The
it.
dead body was.
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing.
Well,
Yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
I'm dumb.
Shoot!
I'm gonna lose. Sorry.
That Kiyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a
The
ghost.
dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing.
Well, yeah,
She must have been wearing gloves.
Figured it out.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, true. I didn't know that actually. Deadass. I didn't know you can't wear fake
No.
nails on your gloves.
There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails. I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
That's news to me. That's news to me. I didn't freaking know that.
Besides, Kiyoko wears
But I guess
gloves
it
to
makes
hide her
sense.
hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Well, you learn something new every day.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kiyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with
Man,
my daily
debuff,
life.
true.
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kiyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that
No,
out.
that's second. Well, we needed to do that first. First is already gone.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
To identify the victim. Everything starts from there.
If Kiyoko really is still alive,
then who died?
There's gotta be someone.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong.
Easy one.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Calm down, calm down.
cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
How is Hina still alive, bro? How is this bird still alive?
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
It's a wolf.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's
She's the
not
baddie?
it.
Cap.
The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to the other information that we have, the victim's identity should become clear.
I got it! The
She's hot and
Fenrir
good for
Mercenary
branding?
Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, come on. Do we really need this? Is this really necessary?
Now I understand.
There's evidence of you saying she's the baddie? Well, I take it back.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god
Extremely
Loki,
necessary.
and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Yeah, true. First time. They had to make sure.
A
True.
wolf
All right.
tattoo.
Don't take it back. It's too bad.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Well, I mean, obviously not.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right.
Maybe.
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Pog.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead?
I mean, they're clearly not the
Now
mastermind.
we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
The ultimate soldier.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kiyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kiyoko got it wrong?
Huh?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
Why hasn't she been here?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
I can't even cap. Listen, I've talked a lot of shit about Byakuya, but like... Byakuya is him, low-key. Byakuya is him. But Byakuya kind of got that dog in him. I can't even cap.
My information was
I'm sorry
not
for calling
wrong.
you Ben Shapiro.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
He kind of got that dog in him.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But
He
remember
got that one in him. He got that dog in him, bro.
No matter what happens, we will find out who
He's
you
him.
really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
But that didn't happen with Sakura. There's still a class trial. Got the dog? No, D-A-W-G. That kind of dog. Not like D-O-G. Dog. You know what I mean?
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no. There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
What time Byakuya gonna have that dog in him is when I'm in him.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Makoto and Kiyoko, right?
I got it!
I got it!
You've narrowed it down to Kiyoko and me, right?
He said that with way too much freaking emotion. He's so excited to call himself out for being the victim.
Why do you say that?
I mean, the suspect.
Allow me to explain.
Let it somehow be Hero. True!
Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
Unless there was. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was already wrapped in the freaking tarp, right? And that's why there's dirt on it. And then they moved it during the sprinklers, right? At 7:30 a.m. And that's the reason why the tarp's wet. So that's how the tarp is dirty and wet.
So, the murder
Maybe?
must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
Only suspects now are me and Kiyoko. Am I bullshitting? Yeah, I'm bullshitting. My theory's stupid. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it!
I got it!
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
I'm bullshitting. Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay. Go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi between 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then. It looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove that the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. But it couldn't have still theoretically happened because Kiyoko didn't have an alibi for that time either. To make it clear when the body ended up in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi from...
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That was it.
I should have waited.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for them. It took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
I mean, I guess it could have been moved.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
The body could have been moved.
And what makes you say that?
With the tarp. I'm so focused on the stupid tarp.
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean?
You're not this stupid.
By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally
This
wacko.
dude.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
All I have to do is hit Toko with a certain evidence and that should do it. Cap, frick, what are the
I
buttons?
admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything.
What?
Hold on.
Wait, what's the bud?
Are you trying to blame me?
Oh, the reload button.
I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit
Frick.
nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything.
I'm bad at this.
Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me?
That's so difficult.
How can you say
That's so difficult. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Just remember what the body was like.
Like, by the time I realized, I figured out the tab button was to reload, I was fricked. By the time I realized the tab button, there were just so many that were already like so high up that it was just over for me. I was like, frick, I should have been using tab the entire time. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion. You'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
I tried playing those two once. I haven't. I'm bad at it.
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Real.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, Then
Why
I
didn't he
guess
just say that from the
sprinklers
first
really
place? I don't know. Why didn't he just say it in the first place?
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Body could have been moved.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kiyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that the Mukuro's killer is... No. I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Shit, here she comes. Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got
Tell
it,
him.
boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kiyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kiyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
I got one heart? Oh, shit. Oh, this is bad.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
No, that doesn't make sense. Water doesn't mean dirty. Water just means wet.
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Damn. I hope it's Makoto. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would you want to make me look like the killer? No. I can't think about that right now. The tarp. If it was used the way Kiyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body.
Wait. Something's not right.
They put the tape on the tarp?
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kiyoko said. Please give me more than one try.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down, of course it didn't get dirty.
I have one heart.
By covering the body with the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Break. Is that what the tape's for?
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
They taped the body with the tape.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
I still don't think the knife was the cause of death. I think it was the hit to the back of the head.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Blood of the chimkin?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood?
I mean, they stabbed, the knife went inside, so there would have been blood anyway. Like, why?
Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no
But they could
denying
just,
that
like,
a chicken went missing.
When you
which provides
stab,
a
the blood
basis
would have
for
come
my
out either
theory.
way. If you just stab the dead body, the blood's coming out. Maybe?
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
That means that happened after the sprinklers?
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
They got stabbed in the back?
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till
Hina!
Then he had plenty of time to spare.
Oh, Makoto!
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kiyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kiyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kiyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea,
Two-Face?
right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Oh, uh-oh.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
Stabbed after
I'm
the
pretty
fact.
sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Shouldn't play Among Us strats. Kyoko's trying really hard to make it look like Makoto.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Disguised dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Right.
The knife we found lodged...
It's the same one.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that knife, that seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with...
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No,
Was this actually the killer and just don't remember it because we were sick? That's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that was possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it!
Ah.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
There's no way Kiyoko could have gotten the bomb, though, right?
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
Just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Why don't you say it? Cunt.
I got it!
I got it!
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
Is it?
They wanted the knife wound to look like
Oh,
a fatal
yeah, okay.
injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kiyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's
Sure.
true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. A schmap to the head.
Then shall
Yeah, we
continue
almost have
the
3
debate?
hearts now. Pod.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already told.
And it wasn't because of the knife. Then there's only one other.
Oh, yeah. According to them, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on
The back of her head.
I'm a dumbass.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury.
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't then.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
And all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves.
Then shall we continue
The debate. The victim's
Fatal injury has yet.
But
No, that's wrong.
But Yasuhiro literally said it. Why do I have to say it again? What's the point of that?
Mukuro died because of the blow
back
to the
to Boba.
back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
The other side of it.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
Yeah.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No, thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
That's what Flo wants to happen to him.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
There's no way that these are thick enough to be a freaking pipe.
I got it!
No way.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the
That
culprit
is
attacked
not
Mukuro with?
pipe thickness.
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
So one more thing about that weapon. One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker. I have no doubt that was the murder
Are
weapon.
you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master? You have no right!
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have... It seems like an arrow would just be too...
Talking back to Master? You have no right!
Okay, skirt.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because in the Monokuma it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a... It seems like an arrow would just...
Hog champ.
No, that's wrong.
They wrapped it around. I see.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
Why is she like now? She's like talking literature.
One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kiyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Did Byakuya put the key in there?
Because we have proof, of course. What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to you know what will happen if you cover for the culprit. There's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all.
He has the key. He had the
I
key.
remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that...
Must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kiyoko
Byakuya
was in the
sus.
dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit.
You hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kiyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? She came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which would mean that Kiyoko killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this...
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
True.
I
Get his ass.
should know.
Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what
I'm not the killer.
You should understand that.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
Correct.
But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly.
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you...
Master would never hide...
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're...
You stated a theory.
You said I hid the evidence of and then left the locker key in my own room.
But
could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly.
I'm not the killer.
You should understand.
Okay, I'm guessing.
Never hide...
There's
Proof that you aren't the...
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
If I'm right, Kiyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have
Take him
possibly
down.
put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kiyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kiyoko said earlier? This is the trap the mastermind has laid for us. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro and Kiyoko killed her? What does Kiyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? This is a good moment to go pee. The suspense. The suspense. Give me a sec. I feel better. Okay. Decide right here and now on whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. The lie's sus. I'm not even cap. But Kyoko's hot and best girl, so I kind of want to let it go. I don't believe in best girl. I'm believing in her. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kiyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. Yeah, that's right, because she's hot. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind trap that Kiyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kiyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kiyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
Damn.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
I can't figure it out. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kiyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us.
He's getting
So
desperate.
That's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time.
Voting time?
Huh? Oh, looks like we don't have to actually vote. That's Pog Champion.
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
They're just picking and choosing a random ass dude. Oh, chose me. Oh fuck. Oh shit. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job.
Yep.
They got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense.
Shing.
It's the same as always. And it's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills.
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kiyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kiyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Huh? What the heck? Are we about to play as Kiyoko now? I hope we get to play as Kiyoko. That'd be so freaking lit. What? Makoto dies? No shot. Unless it was actually him. shit. No way, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Negative way. Negative way. He's taking that shit like a champ, though. Coming and clutches balls? Oh, shit. Wait, isn't that going to kill him, though? The fall? Huh? What is this? What's going on? Hey, what was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it to all hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No. You miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. An itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it. And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kiyoko. What's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Reset? With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Yeah? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't in any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell, because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. I was going to be stuck in there till I wasted away. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friends went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Oh, alright, look at this pog. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink? And which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up. Because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was take a nap. Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, and after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. A crunch. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell up from above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched out my hand towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells
This
awful.
place smells awful. Kiyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kiyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Ooh, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all that I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kiyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why'd you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently. I'd forgotten what it was. Oh, wait. She's so good at detectiving? Is she the Monokuma said that the police were sent. That they tried sending police. Could Kiyoko be one of the police? Or one of the police officers' daughters? I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Anybody here? Am I right? Monokuma said the police was sent. Is Kiyoko the police?
Huh?
Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? She's got that big brain. Did I nail it? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation with myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But, what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, then why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because, among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Oh, jeez. The ultimate detective.
Correct.
The reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? What did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Oh, shit. What?
In other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak headmaster? That explains. When Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
So,
Kyoko, what's going on?
I...
My memory hadn't come back at that point. But when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have had some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was that like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course. Once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there are no cameras monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her? What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules. And with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So this would all mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind,
Indeed.
right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then, there.
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through all this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Jeez. To be continued. PogChamp. I'm gonna keep playing a little bit. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and then began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
Anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Kiyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. It can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
We should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kiyoko. We can use that key of yours to open the door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kiyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it, and slid it into the keyhole. And then, click. Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
Now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Danganronpa. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up to the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Sheesh!
Hell yeah.
The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passing was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. How do they not die from that fall? Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kiyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you about. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. It's very relaxing and I'm invested. And we're definitely going to keep going to the other games as well. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't even heard of us. We're going to download the censored version. I'm going to end hentai right after the stream ends. No. Okay, after the stream ends, I'm going to record a video, and then I'm going to end hentai. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our sole pride. Pride. So that explains it. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up on some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it, knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Kirigiri? But the reason you never gave up on that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? A cuddle a gentleman for climbing first? True. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. As young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family's name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kiyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that, compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He has his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they saw me, even to this day. They see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family. You just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood. Nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Fair enough. I just like these give me anxiety. Imagine at the top it just stops at the edge and there's nothing to grab onto.
I know, dude.
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my hand right up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kiyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Bro, freaking Monokuma's gonna see them. So now what do we do? I'm glad it didn't die, of course. What if the mastermind finds out? And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
Because
the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we talk to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. On the mat. 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 Bam, 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 bam. What up, Monokuma? I'm back, bitch!
Well now.
Kiyoko, I don't mind so much. Makoto's supposed to be dead! What is he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. We're really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished! Did Kiyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? The guilty party is exposed during the class trial. They alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time, I won't leave anything to chance. Kiyoko!
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now...
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened, and then executed, right? Hey! What are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that, you must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Oh shit, Monokuma's kind of a barge.
However,
But then, there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even if you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blacken is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk big game. You're saying the Blacken is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well...
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now. But with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so to inspire. You so love to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone would think, or imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed them because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Yeah.
Hey.
Of course. You can just say that we're making all this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Shit. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
That's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you followed the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey.
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial? One last showdown? In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept that challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then, I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out? Or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown! He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries. That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can't do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mystery of this school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
We've uncovered every last truth. How will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that, for sure. So what?
Hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that is a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then, it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak Academy, in Hope's Peak since the killing game began, are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry.
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone! Get out of here! Okay, I'm going. You really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super deluxe, a super duper extra special punishment. Overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kiyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard. So when was it that the mastermind let down their guard?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself. But do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet, somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do it, to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So, the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak Academy, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal was to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to become more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, their Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope. They have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
it would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You totally seemed confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong... Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't just relax yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win. But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's been going on. True. But now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? All right, we're gonna go through the conversation with everybody, and then we're gonna call it. Okay. Just about to recommend that actually. Yeah, that sounded like a good stopping point. TBH. MF's in dining hall? Presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? That was the line you skipped by accident. Okay. Good. And suddenly we were greeted with... Huh? You again. Is he broken?
Whew.
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, the heck?
However,
Wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
Yeah, we're back, baby!
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. Titties true. Not wrong. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, What's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man. That seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Lost control of myself. If that's losing control of yourself, then you are very in control. Best girl Booba, let's go. Get away. Shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. The last class trial?
In other words...
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial. Huh? What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
Wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me or any of you. Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However...
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap? Did you, Makoto? Make it sound like it was easy. I just,
However...
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. Huh? And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. Use the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
Correct.
Oh shit, dude. This is why Byakuya is him, bro. Byakuya is him.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. You said, now is the time now it's the mastermind that's been ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kiyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? Byakuya's badass, not gonna lie. Yeah, Byakuya's him. He's him. Byakuya him Gami. But there's more. I'm so sorry that I called him Ben Shapiro. He's so lit. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery?
But...
Well, we've been looking around all this time. We still don't know anything, right?
Anyway...
You've probably guessed already. But if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh, no!
Everyone?
I hate you.
Byakuya him Gami. Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I didn't want to say anything at the time, but I was like, this is so freaked up. When I was calling him Ben Shapiro. He's still a piece of shit, but he's also lit at the same time. So he's kind of like Ben Shapiro in that aspect. You know what I mean? Piece of shit. The only difference between him and Ben Shapiro is that he's like a piece of shit, but still lit. And Ben Shapiro's a piece of shit, but not lit. Meanwhile, I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
Anyway...
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and the school's mystery, it's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe. But this time, the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all the mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, he is? He's a piece of shit, but at least he can walk the walk the way he talks the talk. True. Not wrong. Huh? can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? The killing game began with 16 participants. All of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that. Did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro. But there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. I don't believe it's any one of these five. Is it a student who faked their own death? Mastermind is... There are 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. Why is Mukuro just like not shown up at to this point? You know what I mean? So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue? Or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait! We can't say that for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well...
And maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
But...
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Ding dong, bing bong.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
I think somebody faked their death. I think... somebody early on? Because to go the entire time controlling Monokuma, or even a long time, was probably really difficult. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
Unless it was Mukuro, which we already determined it wasn't because Mukuro's dead. Right? And, I don't know, maybe with more people they would have noticed. I don't know. I feel like it can't be somebody who lasts a long time. Or lasted a long time. You know what I mean? For the exact same reason that they're talking about now, because they would have noticed. So I feel like because of that, it had to be somebody early. If it is somebody who faked their death. Which I think it is, because like I said, they would have noticed if one of them was sneaking around. Time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
Prediction? Who were the people who died first? Who died first? Can anybody in chat confirm whether more people die, or is this it? No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Frick, who died first? Okay, it was Junko, Mondo, Leon, Sayaka. That's huge spoilers. Okay, don't tell me anything. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me. Junko, Mondo, Leon, Sayaka. Sayaka died first? Okay. Who died after Mondo? Oh no, Mondo died with a something. She. 3 deaths in chapter 1? I feel like the mastermind had to have been somebody who died early. So I think it's either chapter 1 or chapter 2. Probably most likely chapter 1. Mondo Chihiro. So it's not clearly, obviously not Chihiro. I think my options are... Frick, I don't even think it's Mondo either. I don't know. It's one of those 3 at the very beginning. Nah, maybe Mondo. No, wait. I don't know why I want to blame Mondo so bad. I don't know why. Because technically, that would mean they're still a student, right? So it's still with the rules. I don't know. I just like, there's just no way that somebody could be controlling Monokuma like in this group of 5, or even in like the last 2 chapters. You know what I mean? Somebody would have noticed. What if it was Taka the entire time? It was Taka. At this point, I can rely only on myself. On the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. But it can't be somebody who was killed by somebody else. You know what I mean? Unless the mastermind was the one who killed the person? Maybe? He didn't take me with him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have an idea of who it is. He didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream or coffee. Tell me? No. Mate. Totally useless. I'm going to predict it right before it happens. Right before the reveal. I think it's Junko! She was the only one. She died early on. It was the only one who like wasn't killed by somebody else. You know what I mean? She died fighting Monokuma. That's us his balls. But like, then wait, fuck, hold on. Wait, hold on. But like, how can she control Monokuma and fight him at the same time? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's count. Maybe I'm bugging. But she's the only one who like. That's like the most sus death. You know what I mean? They confirmed that she was? Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. What if it was Sayaka? Yeah, it was Taka. It was Taka. Taka Church out of the island. And now, she's gone. You're gonna go off by yourself? Right, Kiyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. I didn't see the start, so what happened? So I don't know what happened. They confirmed how dead everyone was, to be fair. But, like, I don't understand. Like, they said it's one of the 16 students, right? And there's just, like, they said there is just no way. There's just no way. There's just no way that, like, they, like, there's no way that it's them, these 5. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that it was one of these 5, right? They would have noticed, right? And I feel like the longer that the person stays alive, the more risky it is for them to be, like, noticed controlling Monokuma. You know what I mean? So, like, they had to get out early. They confirmed how dead everyone is, to be fair. I mean, that's true. I mean, can they just lie, though? I mean, if they lied, like, literally, it could be anybody. Mondo. I suppose Hero, because he's so damn useless. No, but that's what I'm saying, though. They would have noticed if he was controlling Monokuma. You know what I'm saying? Ping my ass. What was the ping? Why did you ping me? Like, I don't think. Did a wish list? Who was it? I'm scrolling up. I don't see it. I think you're bugging. I don't have to claim. Where's the wish list? I don't see my name. Are you? I don't think it did. I think you're bugging. Think her would be too cliche, you know? The comic relief guy was only pretending to be stupid? Yeah. True. That too. How much you trust me, Nick? Did you pay my ass? What the frick? Did you mess with me? Oh, what the heck? Damn. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying makes sense, right? 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 Like, I don't think it can be somebody who was killed by another person. I think at the very least, it has to be somebody who was killed by Monokuma. You know what I mean? So like, Junko, Leon, Mondo. Frick, who's next? I can't remember. Celeste? Celeste next? Please, Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Because someone who was killed by another couldn't have been in control? Yeah, exactly. And then, like I keep saying, they would have noticed if somebody here, one of the 5, was like splitting off and controlling Monokuma. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Aw.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But...
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
Cause, I mean...
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Huh?
Makoto. Makoto, risen her up, bro? Oh, shit. It's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
On top of that, every student is present for class trials, but so is Monokuma. True. That means the rule wouldn't be broken. Oh, shit. That means whoever that student is that's controlling Monokuma wouldn't be breaking the rules by having Monokuma be in the trial. Be there at the trial. And that means Monokuma, or whoever controls him, probably votes too. To stay within the rules. Makoto got more Riz than Nick, at least. But if Priest or Brad got more Riz than Nick, that's cap, and you know it. That's cap. It's true. I was talking about this on stream yesterday, but my therapist and I were talking about on Tuesday how every time a girl likes me, or I think a girl likes me, even if I like her back, I immediately like stop talking to her because I get uncomfortable. Even if I like her back, I'm like, ooh, I'm cut off contact. So yeah, 0 Riz, negative Riz. Still got more Riz than me. I got the Riz of a rotten lemon. Same. So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm going to go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
I'll have sex. Sorry, I didn't mean that. So you're going to go off on your own too, right, Kiyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we still can't work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigation doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? We should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kiyoko was gone. Leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us.
Good luck.
I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. But Monokuma said the only people who step foot inside the school are the 16 students. So it has to be. Unless Monokuma's lying.
I guess.
And then we can all escape together. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with the knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? Go to the second floor of the dorms. Biolab, the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh shit, there's a lot of stuff. On the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder. Which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. List of checks have been added to the Truth Bowls section of your handbook. Alright, and we're gonna call it there. So, I'm cooking, right? I'm cooking? I'm cooking. I think right now, my main suspects are Junko, Leon, and Mondo. Junko the most, because she's the only one who didn't die from execution, like the same way everybody else did. You know what I mean? Did I save? I can't remember. I guess I did. ADHD things. Okay. Mondo? Those are my three, because they're the ones who died the earliest from execution of some sort. You know what I mean? Think you're serving up cuisine? Thanks. Anyways. That's it, gamers. What can I say? I'm making sense. Alright. Let me just really quickly do something really important. I can't believe it. Is that Belle Delphine? Unexpected roll. Can't even cap. Was not prepared for that roll. Did not expect to roll Belle Delphine. Yeah, it's getting poggers now. Oh, do I claim who's Diariku? Forget. I should have claimed Padme. I should have claimed Padme, bro. I fricked up. Okay, anyway. Thanks for hanging, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. Have a Gucci one. I said I was gonna do Apex tomorrow, or Apex AI tomorrow, but I kind of want to keep playing, so we're probably gonna play, finish up, play. Oh, my nose, dog. Play some more Danganronpa tomorrow. So yeah, have a good one. Bye. Sleep well. Good night. Good morning. Bye bye. Bye bye.